Excellent. All right. We, I think, then are just waiting. I did not hear from Greg Johnson, but we do have a quorum.
Mhm.
And, but I don't see Vincenzo and Sarah, who is COA 507.
I think they said, I saw in their application, they work evenings at the restaurant, so they're not able.
Right. I was anticipating that, so we may have to just review it as applied, and then
Remote thing right now.
No,
make
he's not.
our
I don't know what Rachel
decisions.
Baribeau is doing there. That's a client.
No, it's at the full.
It's what? It's at the full.
Yeah.
Why is Rachel
Okay, is
Baribeau?
everyone
Is she downstairs?
Yeah.
Tim, you could rename Nancy if you have the power to.
I'm
do
all
that.
set. I'll get
now?
the
I
tablet
could,
going
yes.
and the other. Yeah.
Nancy, I muted you, but you can unmute when you need to. Anyway, all right. I'm going to call the meeting to order. I've got 5:30, 5:31 actually, but sounds better if we say we started right on time. 5:30. I'm going to do this because we're being recorded. I'm going to go through all the admin notes here. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the January 2023 meeting of the Historic Commission. I'm Tim Dowen. I'm your chairman. Please note this meeting is being recorded. If you're not speaking, please have yourself on mute to prevent any background noise. Our meeting tonight will be broken into two sections, the public hearing and the regular meeting. Public hearing is an opportunity for applicants to present their application and for the commission members to ask questions. Once the public hearing closes, the regular meeting will begin. Regular meetings where the commission discusses and votes on applications. Applicants can stay and listen. I'm hoping everyone here now stays to the regular meeting, but the applicants are not permitted to speak. We're going to make an exception in this case, I think, because you guys are this, but
Applicants.
yeah, you are the
We
applicants.
just can't
and
vote
the,
on it, talk about it.
You're the inmates and the warden. So, all right. But anyway, applicants are permitted to speak, are not permitted unless we deem it okay here, and then provide more information. It's not required that applicants stay at the regular meeting. All applicants will receive written notification regarding the commission's decision the next business day. Thank you all. Any questions? That's going to sound awful funny. Have you ever seen anyone, they record this? We don't have access to any recording, correct? Is that Regan? Have you ever, I know it says when I first start the meeting up that this is being recorded.
Yeah, it should get downloaded to the city and then they upload it onto our website after.
I don't know if
vote
I've
to
ever
accept that
checked.
preamble as written.
Yeah. Good. I've never gone on to any website to say, oh, I'd love to listen to whatever he just said before. So I don't know. Anyway. All right. So we will start with the public hearing and we will take COAs in order. So COA 506, Greg Farlow, representing the Society of Founders of Norwich.
Yes.
Present.
Mhm.
Looks like we have a preservation for windows. Could you please tell us what you intend to do?
We want to replace the current storms, the glasswood storms with UV plexi. That's bottom line. That's what it is, without a whole story about it. But basically, we have to keep the windows covered because it's old growth pine. Otherwise it get damaged itself, the window. Right now we have some sashes there. Well, last summer about 2 windows just fell out. The wood's wearing out, the glass is breaking and falling out, and we want to replace. We had some winter damage. What, Cammy? Yeah. Well, anyway, I've got a picture down there of the Denison homestead with plexi on it. If you scroll down, see it there, the tan house. And that's basically what we're attempting to do. Okay, the two windows at the bottom right of the neck of where it says storm. We just put in plexis. The odd shapes on that are little reflections on the UV plexi. Okay, but we have to cover them. You get some street damage, rocks run out from a snowplow, etc., and chip them. And these are old glass going back to about 1750. And the thought is, in this case, we can actually get UV put on it at the same time. And that'll protect the entire interior of the house from sun. Instead of just windows, which will be nice. And that's what we would like to do. You know, we don't have money to do all of them tomorrow, but we basically. Yeah. Okay, so right now we have about 5 windows that need them. But as we go along over the years, we'll probably replace the rest of them as it goes, but they are necessary. Okay, do you need more information from me? I know I'm babbling right now, so.
All right, I'm going to open it up for questions. And I'm going to start though, just real quick. Upper 2 pictures with the weathered shingles. That's the example that you're
That's the
providing?
Dennison house, yes.
Yeah. And that's just plexi, straight plexi, no frame around it, just
No, just plexi, right
attached
into the woodwork,
to the woodwork.
right into the
Okay.
woodwork.
And then the Leffingwell, on the first level, so what you're showing is that front, I see
Only
4
the last-
windows,
The bottom 2 right.
the bottom 2 right. There's
And the
already
plexi on
plexi
'em.
there. I'm
Yep.
sorry, there's already, okay.
Those are
Is
plexi.
it-
We had to cover
a-
them.
It's the same treatment. So it's the same treatment as what's over in the Dennison, that it's just
Yep.
plexi attached directly to the window.
Mhm. Now, the
Okay.
window is not intended to open anymore. None of these are.
Right. Okay. And so it's those 2, forgive me, I see 6 windows. What do we,
Mhm.
currently we have 6 windows. So which of the,
Which of the others on the front of the house? Okay, we have 10 windows that don't have storms. And we're looking for 6 right now.
and those 6,
Well, that's the glass that's actually fallen out. Some are in the back of the house, some on the south, and the exposure you're looking at here is the east. Yep,
all right. And 2 of them already have plexi. That's
in there.
just because emergency repair or whatever.
Mhm.
The other 4 that we're looking at though, any of them that we're seeing, or you just in general saying there's 4 other ones that need,
There are 4
that
other
are going to
ones that
get
are
the
gonna
same
be
treatment?
same treatment, right, right.
Okay. Okay.
Ah.
All right. Do we have any other questions here from members?
I just want to be clear, where exactly are the windows again, Greg? That was a little unclear. Are we talking
Well, the
about
other windows, they're gonna be on the south.
the south?
Does
Does Cam just want to come talk to us? Because I hear
Yeah, I
her.
think Cam wants to come and talk.
Can she just come tell us?
No, they're not liking it.
I hear her and I'm like, I know she knows, so just bring Cam.
No, it's not my fault. Yes, it is. It is not. And when here she comes, it's the brains of the outfit.
No, it's not the brains of the outfit. It's the one that's paying attention.
Tablet's over here.
God. Okay, we need a total of 20 windows totally to have replacement storms. Right now, we have 10 windows that have no storms at all, and they're getting really messed up. The glass is falling out, the wood is getting damaged, and especially in the winter time when we get an awful lot of, for some reason, some kind of road damage. Last winter, we had three windows that looked like they had rocks thrown at them. We have, panes that are shattered. It's kind of a mess. And we saw this at the Dennison house a few years ago,
Mhm.
is the plexi covers instead of the big heavy wooden storms, which are very expensive. And ultimately they rot, which is what ours are doing right now. That's the other 10 windows. But they'll hang in there, but they're in the process of literally falling off the house. And that's what happened again 2 years or last year and the year before. All of a sudden, 2 storms just disintegrated and the giant glass fell on the ground and broke, which was really exciting, And so we're trying to prevent that from happening anymore by getting plexi. But we need your approval to do this because it's not written in the book that one can use plexi covers instead of storms. It says we can have
Correct.
storms, but it does not say plexi. And so that's why we brought this up now, even though we may not be able to do it within the 6-month period, but at least if it's approved and agreed upon, we can go back and say, yeah, now's the time we finally got some money. So
So this
So
is,
Kim, I
this is
drove by
only,
the other day and it looked like some of the windows were boarded up. Are those the
Yeah.
windows that you'll be looking at plexi?
they will have plexi, we hope they will, yeah. They're
Okay.
boarded up right now because we are having them, they're doing restoration on them. Fink and Son is doing caulk and all that other stuff. And
Gotcha.
again, I checked and it's
Okay.
not, we don't need a
Same.
COA for it. It's just,
Right.
it's interior. And
Okay,
they're restoring what's there, basically, before it totally falls apart. So far, he said they're not too bad. There's a couple of them that are in pretty bad shape, but most of them are not too bad, which is really good
thanks
news.
for the clarification.
Okay,
Okay.
that's why they're
So it's-
boarded up, so it looks like we're closing. There are signs on it that says restoration, not demolition, by the way.
all right,
We're
and-
close
but
to that.
this is a temporary thing that you said, once you get the money or whatever, that you would, those 6, you would go back, or the 10, you would go back and do a different treatment later
No.
on, or?
No, we'd like to put on the plexi as a permanent storm
Okay.
cover. As
Okay,
opposed to we have wooden storms on about 10, 12 of the windows, and 2 of them fell out last year, so they're on the ground and gone. We had them removed because they were a hazard. And but we have another 2, 4, 6, 8, at least 8 that are, they're in the
Yeah.
process of falling apart. They will
Okay.
do it within the next 3 to 5 years. And the ones on the back have already fallen out, so they'll have to be replaced as well as getting fixed. We're doing a budget, so the only budget we have is for 10 windows right now to get them, the interior redone. And but we just kind of want the approval to get the plexi, so then when it's time, we can put in a COA and it'll go through fairly quickly because you'll already have that it's an option. And it's not, I think it's a nice, it looks better than the heavy storm window. It's because the heavy storm is not appropriate, and the plexi you kind of can't even see. You don't even notice it's there. You can see the window through it, but you don't have an extra storm hanging around you in front of it. And so that's our thought. So that's why we
Alright.
put in the COA.
okay. Do we have any other questions?
I guess my only
Okay.
question is just trying to figure out which 6 you're talking about now, like which 6 windows are going to potentially get the plexi. That's what I'm just
Oh,
trying to,
there's no 6. It's 10. It's 10 windows.
10. Okay, so the application is 6. So I
The
just
10 that
wanted-
are currently out would get plexi. The east side probably, yeah, but all sides. So the south side gets winter damage like you wouldn't believe. It gets a lot of wind and rain, and those are the ones where the wood in the window is actually kind of a little more at risk. And where the south side, where the east side facing Town Street gets the physical damage where people throw things
Yeah,
or rocks or BB guns or whatever. So there's 10 windows at this point that we are hoping to replace with plexi. The plexi, by the way, is UV, and it's probably about at least half the cost of a regular storm window, which is made with glass in any case. So,
Okay.
and they go in with those stupid little, twisty things, twisty bolts
Yeah.
to hold them in place.
And it's a mixture of first level, second level, or is it
Yeah.
all on the first level? Mixture.
No,
Most of them we want the whole house.
First level, second level, there's 2 on the
Okay.
first floor, and then there's 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on the second level.
Okay,
But it's the intention of replacing the whole house
Ultimately, yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
found
that-
I found a funding source that likes to do structural. And so if, we can do it on a piecemeal basis, over 1 or 2 years
Mhm.
and be able to get
Right.
it done, which is nice. So,
Do you happen to know
So-
how the Dennison Homestead likes the plexi? Like, I don't know if you had a chance to talk to them or not to hear.
I did, I spoke to them, the, the docent there said, oh, I have nothing to do with it. That's one of the members and he put it on and he likes it and they have it and that's the way it is. So I
Okay.
figured, okay, I'm not even gonna go there, but they've had it for years, apparently. That's what she said. That's all, it's been there for a very long time.
Mhm.
And it's, we noticed it when we were there visiting a few years ago, and apparently had been there for at least 10 previous, if not longer. And he put it on himself because he felt it was a better application. And it, again, it protects the old wood and the old glass. And when Fink came down and got the windows, we have a couple of panes that are kind of broken, but he's going to repair them because they have writing on them. And
Right.
if they get broken, we can't replace them. They're irreplaceable. And, some of the others have, little, they look really cute. They've got bubbles and wiggles and waves and, it's old glass. And you
Yeah,
can't,
they're not
you
making
can't,
any
you can't
more
get
of
that
it.
anymore.
Yeah, okay.
Any more questions?
My only question is, I know you guys have interior storms too. Are you gonna like keep the interior storms?
Oh, yeah.
too? Okay,
Keep it all, keep it, anything is good. Any more UV is always wonderful because it protects, as many of you may know, we put out original documents for display. And if you don't have UV, guess what? You lose your documents. And we've had UV for probably, I think about 7 years now. And we've had the same documents out and there's literally almost no damage to them at all. They're in very good condition because we don't get any UV in the house. And that helps. So we
Yeah,
can
it's
put
good.
out the dresses and the red and the different colored suits and everything else and nothing gets faded. So,
Mhm. Yeah, that's good.
mhm.
All right.
Okay.
Any other questions? All right, hearing none, we will move on to COA
Thank you.
50. Now we're gonna go, Regan, since you're here, or does it matter to you whether we do 507 or 508? Let's just go in order then. We'll
Doesn't
do
matter.
507. We'll do 507. It's 428 Washington Street.
Lighting?
New lighting on the garage, the barn. The floodlights removed and being replaced and then new ones on the back here for the sconces that were in the application. Hopefully everyone has the application, has an ability to see the pictures. Anyone not able to see it? Because I can share it. I think you're
No,
not able to.
I got it. I'm looking at it.
Yep, I'm good too.
Okay, Nancy or Greg?
yeah,
Okay,
picture of the house, yeah.
okay,
This is 428 Washington, is that the one?
correct, right on the
Oh,
corner.
I got the
East-
COA here in front of me.
Yeah,
See, I'm double tired,
excellent. All right, so it looks like we have looks like a couple different sizes maybe, but yeah. And as I'm looking at it, pictures, they show certainly the locations. I think Sarah, I don't know if Vincenzo or Sarah made this, but I'm guessing Sarah. So, and again, it replaces the, you can see dangling down that floodlight.
Oh, yeah.
Certainly not historic. And tucked far away from the street. It's typical of 428 and my 422. It's not right up along the street. So those are
It's on that
Kinda
corner,
tucked.
right? Yeah.
correct. It's tucked away
Right.
a little bit back. So, but they would be visible. if you're
Eliano's
on-
owns that.
Yeah, if you were walking down East Town or down in front, I think you see the picture there is a little bit past the arborvitae that they have that's kind of covers the house a little bit, but and then I would obviously be able to see it from my side. They have not shined lights in my window or from there into my bedroom window, so I haven't lost any sleep over it. So, so anyone have any questions amongst ourselves
Is it-
based on what was written?
I know it sounds weird. Is there gonna be a major lumen increase? You know, you could put something up there that could really, light up the world.
Well, they already
I-
had the floodlight that would light up any world or whatever, so I
Yeah.
can't imagine it's gonna be like bigger than that.
Well, if it is, they
Just
can
a-
always drop the wattage, so,
Right.
on the bulbs, if it's annoying. Okay,
I think on the back, that was one of them, just for the holidays, they did have a spotlight up on the wreath, in the back of
okay,
that,
yeah.
so. So,
Yeah.
I think my
Anyone
only
have-
concern would be to make sure the sizes is okay, because I know there was one lantern we approved and didn't realize it was gonna be as big as it actually was. So I just
was
wanna
this
make
over
sure-
on Cemetery Lane or? Yeah, not Megan Campbell, those ones were
No.
right size, yeah, okay.
Yeah, so that's my only concern. I think the sizing looks good. I just want to make sure that we, pay attention to that to make sure.
They're
Right.
3 feet
The
high
scale is-
practically, isn't it?
And I think the fact that it's on the side of a really large garage is gonna make even a larger light look a little diminutive, you know?
It is a two-story garage there, so it's, the medium ones, I think the medium ones are on the front and the large ones are on the back. No, I'm sorry, the large one's from the front. So you're right, it's two and a
Two in the
half,
back.
almost 2 3/4, from top down to the bottom. If anyone, I don't have a banana or anything, but,
And Regan, to your point, 23.5 inches on the front shouldn't look too bad. That's a pretty small stature, and the big ones are gonna be on the back.
I
Yeah,
think the big
I-
ones were
I-
up in front.
they're on the front.
Oh, you're
Like-
correct. My apologies. You're
Yeah,
correct.
Right.
you're fine. Yeah, that was my only concern, but I think it's probably gonna be okay.
I think that's a pretty standard size, because that's the size of the one outside my front door that I just put in.
Okay.
32 inches.
Yeah,
Yeah. How'd it come out? Okay,
I think it looks great,
good.
but I'm a little biased.
All right. All right,
Well, if you think the
Anyone-
sizing is okay, then that sounds good. That was my only concern. The lights look fine. My only concern was size.
Yeah. I'll put two.
all right. All right, any other thoughts? Do we still have Nancy?
Yeah, but she's under somebody else's name,
She's
That
muted.
understand?
and she's also muted, whoever it is.
Can you hear me now?
Uh,
Yeah,
Yes, we
Yes.
can, yeah.
Yeah, they do look a bit, so it's a foot wide and 32 inches tall. That's almost 3 feet.
yeah. I
Is that a
know.
lot? Is that pretty
That's a
big?
big fitting. That's a big fixture.
I mean, compared to the size of the garage, which I'm not sure we even know, right? Although it
Garage
looks
is
pretty
two-
big.
Two-story. It's
There it
next to
is
me.
there.
So it is two-story on the back. It's actually, you get an extra underneath, so it's 3-story there.
Yeah.
But the back ones are the smaller ones.
Yeah,
Jake was
to me,
saying that,
Yeah, to me, it would make sense to reverse them. The larger ones go on the back and the smaller ones on the front.
right, but
But isn't almost 3 feet really long or tall or whatever it is?
That's
Isn't
that's-
that really big and a foot wide? Is that
It's a big piece of hardware.
That
It's a
seems like
yardstick
it's
size
almost.
of
really,
mine
really
right
big
now.
to me.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't know what,
correct.
I don't know
I'm
what it
looking at
would
mine
look
right
like.
now, and my measurement is 21 inches high outside my front door, and I consider that a relatively large light. So you've got a good point, Nancy. I apologize. I was mistaken about my dimensions.
I
So I agree,
suppose
that
the
is a big
garage,
light.
the garage looks really big. Maybe it will look good. It's almost difficult to know what it would look like against the garage. If the garage is large, maybe it would look okay, but otherwise that's pretty enormous for a sconce, isn't it?
Yeah.
Name tape measure. So,
It's a
yeah,
yardstick.
so this large one, this is really big.
Yeah.
It really
But-
is.
but
3 feet
that's
tall,
with
that's
the
like
finial. that's with the finials and the frame up above it too. So that's not just the
Yeah.
glass. So, where, Regan, where,
Probably
I
a
you just
2-foot
had a
glass at
picture.
least.
So.
That's really,
Somehow-
really big, Reagan. Woo.
So I'm at like, I think it was like 30,
It was 32 and a
That's
quarter, but
33.
isn't that huge?
and it's like, it's all, I'm still going. It's pretty.
Regan, how wide is the picture behind you, Regan?
Oh, good question.
Because maybe we could compare it to that lengthwise.
It's pretty comparable. So this is about 39 behind me, and the light was 33-ish and 32.
32
So we
and a
can't see the
quarter.
other end.
Yeah.
You have to move the
32, and
camera.
I'd say,
There you go. Now
I'd
you
say
go.
the glass part of it is maybe 15 of that 32, or
That is big.
maybe less than that, you know, about that. About
And
a-
how tall is that frame, Regan?
Let's see.
I know I'm forcing you to do work. I apologize.
This is helpful. It's about, I'm gonna say 28, give or take. Roughly.
So,
Okay. So it's gonna be almost as big as that frame is long, and about 3/4 of the height is how it is wide. So that is a pretty big fixture.
Yeah, so let me.
3/4 of, what are you saying wide? So the width, it's depth. I think they were giving us depth on that, the 12-inch. It says W, but
That's the width,
don't know.
yeah.
yeah, I guess they're given,
High, 8.5 wide, 23.5 high. And the other one is, yeah, 20. Wait a minute,
okay, yeah.
23, 32. Yeah, that's a good size sconce.
Yeah, that's about 3/4 of the
Uh-huh.
size of that picture in the frame behind Regan.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is about that. If you cut across the top third, you got it.
Yeah.
You know, you
It's a
almost
big-
need to see it on the building, on the
Yeah,
barn.
you
I call
do.
it a garage, but on the barn to know if it will look right. It's a nice sconce. It's an improvement over the floodlight.
Mhm.
Mm.
But it's really big, I think. I don't know if it's too big.
I think my recommendation for them would be to switch them, to put the large sconces on the back of the barn and the smaller sconces on the front of the barn. That would be my recommendation.
Okay. Or if they wanted the medium on both, I don't know if, we
Like-
just think that the
Yeah.
front one is bigger, is too big.
The, fr-
That's what we're,
the front of the garage is not visible from street unless you look down their driveway.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
The
I mean,
visibility is on the back end near the meadows.
True.
If you were walking up,
Wash it, yeah.
East Town.
Mhm, mhm.
I think I would just recommend they switch it.
Okay.
I
I
think
would
the
second
sconce is
that.
fine. Yeah, I think
We
the
can-
sconce is an improvement, like Nancy was saying, but I just think they should put the large ones in the back and the smaller ones in the front.
Okay.
So
Or
we had-
going
Yeah.
down to, if it was medium all the way around, would we have any issue with that? I mean, we'll discuss this later in the
Yeah.
regular meeting, but just amongst ourselves, think while we can. I guess that, do we think the large ones would be,
large.
I think they're still gonna be large. They'll look large where they're placed down below, I think, against those doors. I walk through those doors. So I'm 5'8", whatever. I don't know if they hang, if a large one would hang too far down on that. But at any rate, so.
Gee, I don't know.
We're just saying the other one seems too large for that. Is our, what we're discussing here of where those
Well,
floodlights.
without any dimensions for the building, maybe we
Mhm.
don't even know what we're seeing. You almost have to see it on the building, don't you?
Go out there and measure it.
Yeah, I don't know, and I don't know if these are things that he has already in hand or not.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure if he put those up. I think, do we normally do that? Please put them up or show us exactly what it's gonna look like, and then we'll we'll make a
We have the
decision. No, we
option
don't
of-
like it, take them down or something. So we've got to figure out. I
Yeah,
agree. It'd be nice
What-
to see what it looks like up there.
What if we request a picture of that spot and then ask him to draw where they would be and how large it would be to scale? So let's say the building's 16 feet tall, maybe have it do a circle that's 3 feet tall in the center, but do it to scale so we can at least get a look of the size comparison. Just a suggestion, because putting those up and taking them down, I think would be kind of
Right.
a Herculean task.
yeah,
All right. All right,
Yeah.
we'll come up with, our, motions or whatever,
Yeah,
when we get
okay.
into the other one.
Do you think
All
the
right.
scale drawing would help, Nancy?
That would help because I think that that's exactly what I'm saying. Is it going to look humongous, just too big against the
Yeah.
building, or will it look proportionate to the size of the building? And
Okay.
then it's fine. The thing itself is fine.
yeah.
But what's it
Okay.
gonna
It's
look
a nice
like?
piece.
It is
Yeah.
a nice piece.
Yeah,
All right. So
that would help
consider
to
what-
do that.
Yep. And then also consider though, when we get into the motions here in the regular meeting, we were,
Right.
did discuss reversing those. So if we thought the other one, would we still have that same, wanting the same dimensions with the medium ones up there versus the big ones, I guess?
Yes,
But just, as we go in, don't want to delay it because they're not here. They might be, if they were here, they might say, oh, well, yeah, we can do that easily and get it all done. Or it's in just not saying where we're going with this. It sounds like we might be into next meeting before we could approve something like this if we're going to ask for the other stuff. So, all right. Noted. No, we'll note that and then we'll work it out on the in the motion later on. All right.
okay.
Any other discussion on the
Uh,
write-up? All right,
Evidently
hearing
the-
none,
The large sconces will take care of their problem to illuminate the driveway,
I think
which
so.
is dark out there. Which is probably why they want the bigger ones
Yeah.
on there.
All
So
right. And then they do have, I didn't see the front porch lighting. It doesn't have a real good picture of that, just to see the size of what's underneath that porch. But they do make the comment that it's to match the front porch, the style, I'm sorry, not the size. So, all right. So hearing no other discussion,
no,
let's move on to COA 508. This is from Dane Rue, Regan Minor, 67 East Town Street, reconstruction of windows.
yes.
So Dane couldn't make it here tonight. He said Regan would be able to answer any questions we had.
You're familiar
I
with
don't
the
know.
property?
I mean, I think I am a little familiar. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm gonna be short and sweet because it's not very complicated. We
Yeah,
have a
short and sweet.
thank you. We have a wooden window in our basement that has rotted and has actually in fact fallen out. Dane has boarded it up to prevent airflow you'll notice that in the picture, from entering during the winter months. So it is a wood window. We are planning to replace it with an exact replica with a wood window. We are actually going to contract with Fink & Son because we thought he'd be a good option. He's doing the Leffingwell windows. We figured he could
Yeah.
easily replace this tiny little basement casement window. And so he's hoping to do that next month when he returns with the restored Leffingwell windows. So that is our plan. Short and sweet. I can answer questions, but it's basically wood window for wood window and like for like.
Mhm.
If
Questions?
it's like for like, Reagan, I don't think there's a lot for us to comment about.
Well, it is a replacement because it's new. It's gonna be a new window, so, but it's gonna be a
Sure.
new window.
It's the
Right.
whole frame also, the window and the frame, yes, or just the window itself?
Yeah, I think
Like-
we'd like for him to try to help us with the frame because that is also got some rot and damage as well. Our main focus is for Justin Fink to do the window replacement, but I'd like for
Okay.
him to try to help us with the window frame too, and repair that as best he can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
No. No,
Hearing none. Hearing none, I'm gonna close the public hearing. 6:05, we'll go into the regular meeting and we'll do actions on the COA. And I think we shall address them in the order that they were presented. So I'll entertain a motion on COA 506. This is 348 Washington Street, the plexiglass storm window treatment on that house for, I believe, 10 windows total.
Mm,
I'll make a motion that we accept COA 506, 348 Washington Street as presented and written.
Do I have a second?
Second,
All right, motion by Regan and second by Jake. Do we have any discussion?
yeah, I have a question. Have we ever approved plexiglass before?
This would be the first.
Okay.
That's why we're
I
coming
know.
before you. It's never been done before.
Yeah, to my knowledge, this would be the first.
First.
And I can
Oh.
see that there's the issue with the old windows in particular where you know, I've seen some of the damage at the Leffingwell and to know that it's not just protecting the windows from the inside, it's also helpful to protect them from the outside so this old glass doesn't get damaged. And as we said earlier, it's almost irreplaceable, especially the pane where we have Jedediah Huntington's signature on it. Like we can't get
Yeah,
that back.
I shall wait.
Okay,
Greg, did I hear those plexiglass were UV protection too?
Yeah, the UV.
Okay,
That's what interests me because then the whole place is UV.
yeah. Good call.
Which is helpful.
Okay.
That's
Yeah,
what-
no doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah,
all right.
it'll protect everything inside.
All right. Any further questions or thoughts, discussion?
I gotta get out.
Hearing, all right, hearing none, I will take a roll call here. Regan, Jake,
Aye.
Nancy,
Aye.
Greg, are you
He abstains, I'm sure.
abstained? Okay.
Why he's
And
dark.
then-
Yeah, I gotta be mute because it's my,
All right.
okay, I'll vote on
And
leaving.
I say aye. So
Yeah,
ayes
my
have it.
feeling. Ayes
All
have
right.
it. Good deal, thank you.
Motion passes. We will
Excellent.
go to COA 507. This is 428 Washington, sconces on the barn, front and back. I'll entertain a motion. And it can have caveats, I think, in the motion if we want
Yeah.
to start that way.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure that out.
Maybe make a motion that we take, whoops, are you still there?
Whoops,
Me?
Uh-oh.
I'm
Oh, no,
still
it just-
here.
We're
That
somehow
was
still there, okay.
Greg.
seeing Greg stopped sharing.
Oh, okay.
What am I
Anyway, a
doing?
motion, if you can still
Oh,
hear me, a
gotcha.
motion that we table the action on it until we receive 2 scale drafts for our consideration so that we can see the size of the sconces as proposed as against the size of the building upon which they'll be placed. Is that sort of what you said, Jake?
Yeah, I almost wondered though, so that we can be considerate of them, that is there a way we can get those pictures emailed to us and then we can kind of vote that way so they can get moving on something quicker? I don't know if we. do anything
Yeah,
like that
that's
now.
true
Instead of
too.
waiting
You
a
don't want to
month,
delay
yeah.
a whole month.
Yeah, but I agree with
Um,
you that that's the direction we should go.
Well, here's a thought, and I don't want to second Nancy's motion so that we can have the discussion. So I'm seconding Nancy's motion, and
Okay.
with my discussion, what if we give Tim the power to go over and review the sconces to scale with Vincenzo and Sarah, since he does happen to be chairman and also happens to be their neighbor. So I'm sure you could
Mhm.
find a convenient time to go over and take a look. And if that seems okay to you, Tim, then we could give him the power in this motion to accept the sconces that you'll see when you visit with them and see the scale.
I'd also
Well, I
be
would-
volunteer to be a second set of eyes if you need them, since I live right across the street.
Yeah, true, of
Right.
course.
Mhm.
Now, I'm trying to think. I would still obviously not just look at it, but I would, we would be sending out a scaled picture to everyone here for thumbs up, thumbs down. It's a little bit different. I'm not quite on. Or would Jake and I be able to say thumbs up if we
Yeah.
saw the scale? Or obviously the motion is for everyone to see the scale, right?
I'm saying,
What-
guys, if you guys see the scale, Tim and Jake, and give the thumbs up, then the commission gives you the blessing to have that thumbs up, and they don't need to come back to us with further information.
Kind of like a power of attorney on a COA.
There you go.
There we go.
Now let's
Sorry,
don't-
Nancy, if that's incorrectly used.
Is
Well, I
everyone
don't know about
comfortable?
that, but I mean, I see where Reagan's going. It would be a manner of approving it with conditions.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds reasonable to me.
Okay.
Mhm.
But let me just clear that Jake and I would take this, we would still confer with you guys. I think, no, you don't think so?
No,
We
we
don't
would
have,
Don't
give-
need.
So the
Okay.
motion would give you the power to, so our motion would be, we want to see, we want you two, you and
Yeah.
you, Tim and Jake, to see the scaled drawing, or if Vincenzo happens to have the sconces with them, holding it up on the building to see the scale, and we would then give you two the power to approve it. And we don't need to, come back and see future drawings or whatever.
okay. Okay.
That's what
Um,
the motion would, it would give you that authority.
All right. So the motion is, are we,
We're
so the
moving
motion
along.
was to, well, originally to table this. So do we want to,
So should I
that's,
withdraw that?
that's the motion. So I guess now I'm trying to figure out, Regan, yours is the motion itself. Since
Why
we
don't
did
I
not-
withdraw my motion?
You're with, okay, that's what I was gonna get at. You're withdrawing your motion. Regan has a
Yes.
motion.
Hang on, I have a thought. Instead of withdrawing, because we still needed this as part of discussion, we
Right.
can not approve the motion that was made, and then someone could make the new motion, based off the discussion we just had, if that makes
Or you
sense.
can modify my motion? Can you do that?
I don't know in the
I
rules of,
think it would be clean. I know I don't have the rules in front of me either,
Yeah.
the rules of
Uh-huh.
Robert's Rules of Order, but I think what might be cleaner is to deny the existing
Okay.
motion, which is to table, and then someone starts a new motion with the
Right.
with what-
Okay.
so,
That's
so
fine.
Nancy has a motion to table until we get a clearer understanding of the size of the sconces. Do I
Mm-hmm.
have a second of that?
So I said second.
Reagan seconded it already.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then she
so
did
that we
an
can have the
add-on.
discussion.
And so now we've seconded it. We're going into discussion. We've discussed this about an alternate plan here. So let's take a quick vote on this. The clean vote, which I think I know what's going to be result. Regan,
So nay, I'll say nay, no, we won't table it.
Greg,
Nay. I don't know what's
Jake-
going on.
Jake?
Go ahead.
And
This
nay,
is just Robert's paperwork. Go ahead.
Nancy,
Nay to my own motion.
and
Oh,
I
well,
say nay. And then we'll entertain a new motion.
sure.
Which
That
is-
motion did not pass. Now let's entertain the new motion. Which,
Reagan, it's
I don't
in
know.
your court.
You
Your
want
new
me to do it?
motion.
Okay, you want me to do it? Okay, so then I will make a motion that the Historic District Commission authorizes Tim and Jake to visit with the homeowners to see the scale of the sconces. And based on that meeting, they can render approval. Does that make sense? I think I got
and
it.
I like that one. Do I have a
Um,
second? Or Nancy, did you not like that one?
they can, wait a minute, can you say that they can render approval?
Yeah, so I think well, we do need a second before we go into.
Jake and
Okay, well, I'll second that.
Okay,
So then,
So-
so the thought is that both Tim and Jake would be looking at the scale, because that seems to be our most concern with these sconces is the scale of them in relation to the building.
Right.
So if the scale actually looks okay, like maybe we're overthinking this and think the large ones actually do work, like if Jake and Tim see, oh
Yeah.
yeah, actually that is gonna work out okay, they can say to Vincenzo and Sarah, yeah, okay, go ahead, you're good, so move forward.
instead of waiting
Well, I
another
guess
month.
if we approve this, then we're approving the application, but based on the examination by Tim and Jake, who then have to render the approval that we've already given based on their subsequent examination. So I guess it's okay. I guess you could say that. I
Our
just didn't know if you
approval
could,
is- Go ahead, sorry.
I didn't know if you could really say to them, they will render approval. But I guess you can because we're approving this motion. So by approving it, we're approving the whole thing, providing it meets with their approval once they see it to scale. I guess you can say it that way. I guess it's okay.
all right.
Hmm.
As long as everyone's comfortable with that, and I'm
Yeah.
comfortable with it, and Jake is comfortable with our looking at this and following up on it.
Yeah,
Do we
so
have any
just wear
further-
your eyeglasses when you go to see it, Tim.
All right. I did take them off. I can't see close up. Yeah, so I'll, oh, what? What
No.
are you trying to do?
Okay.
All right. As long as everyone's comfortable with this, do we have any further discussion before I call for a vote?
No,
Hearing none. Regan, Greg,
Aye,
Jake,
Aye.
Nancy,
aye.
and I say aye. We will get on this pronto and hopefully it'd be even better if he's got those in hand.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll be able to make a very quick
That'd be
decision on
great.
that.
Regan and
All right.
Nancy, you do know that without the two of you, Tim and Greg and I would just kind of flounder about. You know that.
she's a professional.
All right,
Funny.
excellent. That concludes our actions on the COAs.
I am.
Wait a
Yeah.
minute.
Don't we
I
have
got
to
something
do
to bring up.
Regan's? Don't
Oh,
we have to do Regan's yet?
oh, we
Yeah.
didn't. I'm sorry, you're
Oh,
right.
say,
I
let's,
thought
I
we,
might as well approve that.
508, Tim.
508, you're right. I'm sorry. I
What are
was
you doing?
jumping ahead. So I will entertain a motion on
Motion to
COA
approve
508.
COA 508 as it is.
Okay.
I
Second.
second it.
All right, motion by Jake, second by Nancy. Any discussion? Hearing no
No, it appears
discussion.
to be in order. Should be
Yeah.
approved.
Hearing none, I will, well, I guess your name was on that. Regan? You want
Aye.
to abstain?
I'm gonna abstain, yeah.
All right, Greg,
Aye, I approve it.
Jake,
Aye.
Rachel?
Oh, yeah, weird. Okay, Nancy,
Yeah,
aye.
Rachel.
And I
Fine,
say
Nancy.
aye. It passes, all ayes, Regan abstain. So there we go. Congratulations.
Another pass. Okay.
Those two COAs, I will get something out for building department and the like, and off to our applicants by tomorrow. All right. Let's move into regular meeting approval of minutes. Do we,
I read them.
does everyone have a chance to read through the minutes? I will ask for a motion on the approval.
I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes as written.
Motion by Regan, second.
I'm not doing it because I'm an alternate,
Okay, I'll second it.
but I'll
Okay,
vote.
Jake is
Yeah,
seconding.
That's why I'm doing
Um,
minimum.
do we have any discussion, any changes that anyone would like to note on the meeting?
I wasn't
minutes?
there for most of that meeting, so I should abstain.
Okay,
I think
think.
I think we talked about it last time. We didn't have to abstain if we,
Oh,
but,
Oh, we
I think
didn't?
that was, yeah, I think.
If you read the
Catherine
minutes.
Had mentioned something, but, at any rate,
We're
Okay.
approving minutes.
I've seen them
right.
before as they came out. I have no, additions. Anyone else? Any? Okay, hearing nothing, I'll, go for a vote. Regan,
I,
Greg,
Aye.
Jake,
Just a
Aye.
little emoji.
Nancy?
So are you saying I can vote? There,
You can vote if you like those meeting minutes, if you have, if
okay,
you're okay with it.
I,
All right,
aye.
and I say aye. Meeting minutes pass. The next is chairman's report. I'm gonna note that we have a new alternate, Dane Rue, who is unfortunately unable to attend tonight, but we now have got a full roster. I believe his and Greg Farlow's appointments are good through December 31st of 2024.
Yeah,
Jake, and both as alternates, and then Jake, yours was approved,
Yeah, I
You-
think
you
mine
must-
expires December 2023.
2023, correct?
Yeah.
he's a long-term guy.
Yeah, so, welcome aboard, Dane, and congratulations, Greg and Jake. This is good. But consider other people in case I get hit by a
Mhm.
bus or anything, and we would have someone
Yeah.
else to fill in as
Mhm.
needed.
Okay.
The other
Okay,
part
well,
about
Yay to our new member.
the
Yay.
member.
No
and
cake,
members,
party, nothing, huh?
No,
Okay.
I'm sorry. Yeah, we didn't
Ah.
think ahead. I'll have a
Wait,
drink
Tim?
later though.
Tim sent me a gift basket, Greg. Didn't you get anything?
But it was,
Oh,
it was a fruit
glad
that
you
I
enjoyed
found
it.
off at the bottom of the hill on my, the deer had already gotten to it. So anyway, other part of the chairman's report, I did send in our, I believe we hadn't discussed this since we didn't have a December meeting, but our budget inputs were submitted to proper whatever, someone down at the city hall and all the proper channels. So I have not heard anything back from that. I don't know when they discuss that. I should probably do a follow-up on it, but obviously, thank you very much to Regan for previous ones, because we followed suit on our submission, and it made it very, very easy to follow that template and what we were asking for. So if I haven't heard anything, if Catherine stopped typing or whatever, she maybe have heard that she wasn't getting her stipend, but that's not the case. We get any budget, it's going right to Catherine here. And hopefully we will get everything fully established and maybe look back at reestablishing our preservation awards if we can. So
yeah, that'd be nice.
keep you informed on that.
I had a
Old
question.
business. Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you got old business. This is new. New business.
Okay. Well, old business, I was just gonna go through and say from the previous COAs, we did certainly see action from across I'm trying to think, what would it be? 421? Someone's doing a lot of work that we approved across the street, and it looks very good.
Were you talking
lot
about
of-
417 Washington?
417 Washington, is that the one I'm looking at?
Which
Hey,
one
that's
is
a
it?
nice house.
That's a
Yeah.
very nice house.
Yeah. So work is going along. I know we talk about that of, hey, who follows up on some of that work and making sure it gets done properly. I still, though, in the old business, we had that one that's down on Broadway that
Mhm.
I'm trying to think now what the latest one was. We keep on asking, please submit a COA, and I do not hear anything after that. I'm not quite sure what is the status on any of that, but no COAs have come in. And I believe we were possibly waiting for another COA right before this, but it did not come in. So anticipate that we will have something to discuss next meeting. The one other item I was going to mention was in our HDC email, we did get something from, oh, that might have been it, was the, someone had put in for some electrical work through the building department. And we now got a notification that was something I had not seen before. And we asked for, it was right at the deadline of trying to get this meeting notices out and prepare for the meeting. And I was told, can't remember who the name, Dan
That was Dan Coley from the building
Dan-
department.
right, was going to give us access and tell us how we could get into this request that they had made. And I never got anything back from that. So I will follow suit on whatever the notification is that we got from the building department's new system of permit requests. It somehow triggered an entry for HDC to weigh in on it. So hopefully this will be a new, maybe easier way of going through the permits with the building department. But we will track that down. Nothing came of it yet. I didn't think it was going to happen in the 12 hours or whatever it was that we received that to get it in. So if they have to wait a month, they had to wait a month. So, and of that, there was one other thing of, I don't know what the number is, but across the street from Vincenzo, that house just sold. It was in the paper recently. I want to say someone Duarte, and I did notice real quick, they were in and out before we really had a chance to do anything. No, I did go over and check, but on the porch, the porch roof, they replaced a flat roofing material with another flat roofing, no other structural changes. They were in and out within a day. I asked, did they have permission? Did they have obviously they hadn't done a COA. It was a replacement like for like in this case here, I think. So it may have been a moot thing, but I was questioning whether they even had a building permit. The crew kind of hemming and hawing as I was talking to them, and it was but like I said, it was a flat roof replacing that, but no other structural changes. When I got to it, it was almost complete by the time I got there. And I made sure that, hey, wait a second, you're not doing anything here to any of the structure you see above the walkway coming up or anything like that. So it's not visible, whatever they had done for the most part here, is from what I saw, other than people walking up on the roof.
I think
But-
385 Washington just changed hands too. So I was gonna send a letter and I just haven't done that yet.
Which one was that?
385 Washington, I think also just sold the big White House on the hill with the pillars.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
White House.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, so I had meant to send them a letter and I just I needed to go out and buy envelopes. And now I finally have envelopes to go send a letter to them. But I can send one. So what address is that one, Tim? You said, is it for
431, I want to say, or 431, I think. Yeah, Jan and Jan, he passed away, but she just
okay,
moved
I got
out,
you.
and it's right on the corner of Canterbury, and pretty sure it's 431.
I gotcha. Yep. Okay, I'll send letters to those two properties to say, hi. You're in the district.
Yeah. All right, and that's all I had for. That's all I had for old business. Anyone, so I'll go on to new business, and I think I had no new business, but Greg seems to have something. Go ahead.
Question. When they do something downtown, are they under any historical guidelines or district guidelines? Because I was looking at our district book and, you know, about paintings on murals and things. It's well
Hmm.
outlined in here. This is just not applied to downtown? Or they just didn't follow the guidelines or what?
We're only have jurisdiction on the two
Chelsea and the Old Town, huh?
districts, although there are many other districts. So yeah, we don't have that jurisdiction. I don't know how they worked that through. I know they had gotten the grant, and actually, I'm not sure, Regan, were you invited on that? I know I was asked at some point. They were looking for members to decide what to do with the whole grant, and I don't know if it included murals, but it was a beautification type thing. I'm not sure if anything followed through on that.
Yeah, so
I
the,
just,
so
yeah.
to answer your question, Greg, the Historic District Commission only has authority in the Norwich Town and Little Plain Historic Districts. We can, however, we can advise the city
Yeah.
of comings and goings in the other National Register historic districts,
Thank you for
which would include
clarifying that.
downtown, which would include downtown.
All right, thank you for
Right.
clarifying that. So we could put up with the lovely pictures downtown.
Well,
Go ahead,
Yes.
I'm done. I'm
Do-
done. That's all I said. what
Okay.
I had.
all right. Any other new business? Last Nichols? All right. That would mean our next meeting date is,
Sit down, let me
It's
get
on
my
our-
calendar out. Muy importante.
our next meeting is,
February.
please hold. Should be February.
February
15th.
15th.
Yeah.
Thank you. February 15th, 5:30. I'm going to keep it unless I hear violent protests here.
No,
Keep it as a WebEx.
good.
Everyone good
Yep.
with that?
Love it.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Excellent.
Love
And
it.
I will take a motion for adjournment
Okay.
Motion to adjourn.
by Jake. Any second?
Second,
Okay, she seconded, good. I'm just a
Nancy had the
lowly
second.
alternate.
And I'll just take one rousing, all in favor, say aye.
Aye,
aye.
All
close,
right.
bye.
Meeting is adjourned. at,
Okay, bye.
Thank you. Good night,
6:33.
everyone.